Hey Lessons, how's it going? So we are in France now. As you can see, we've actually been in France for like 3 weeks now, but I've just been editing and uploading my videos just now. So yeah, but now we're officially in France. But yeah, so this is my last Japan related video for at least one video. But this is my last video related to my trip in Japan. So yeah, I'm going to be talking about whether or not I liked it. So yeah, let's just jump right in. Okay. It just got a lot darker in here. Let's turn that brightness up. Okay, so I'll just start with what I liked, and then I'll go to what I didn't like afterwards. Okay. So the first and foremost thing I liked, and I think this is what maybe liked the most, is I got a real feel for what Japan was actually like, because we weren't just tourists while we were there. We were going to a school, we were hanging out with other Japanese students, we were living at a dormitory with other Japanese students. We weren't just like sitting at a hotel room, you know. We were actually hanging out with Japanese people and interacting and being immersed in the Japanese culture. So we were very into that, and that was really, really awesome to be able to realize what it's actually like. So yeah, that was very cool. That's, I think, maybe my favorite thing. But yeah. Okay. Amazing food. All the food is great. Like the school food there is like a nice restaurant here. It just got dark again. It keeps getting dark in here. Sorry, I'm using the sun as one of my lights, and it doesn't seem to be working. Come on, sun. But yeah, we got some amazing food because in America, lunch food is mediocre at best. Generally pretty terrible, but there it's like actual home cooked, really good meals. There's options, and it was great. But yeah, that was super, super awesome. But there's rice with everything. Every single stinking meal has rice, no matter what it is, always rice. And I'm a Westerner who doesn't really like rice that much, so that was a little bit weird. But yeah, we'll get into that later. Okay, I made some really, really good friends while I was there. I made friends with both the other AFS students that also went, and then also with the students that were actually at the school, especially the guys that were essentially assigned to be my friends. So, I mean, that makes sense. But we actually became real friends, not just assigned friends. And that was really, really cool to be able to do that, and I still talk with them, and that's cool. And that was super fun to be able to do that. Like, I went to the onsen, which is the communal bath, every night with those guys. And by communal bath, I mean all the guys are naked in the same bath. You take showers beforehand, so you're not like just making the bath water dirty. But yeah, it's full-on communal bath. It's a little bit embarrassing, but I love it. I wish we had them in America, or I guess in France now, because we're in France. But yeah. Okay, another thing I really liked is it's a really easy way to travel to like really exotic places, I think, as a teen. Because like, I couldn't have gotten to Japan on my own. I don't think my parents would let me. Like, flying myself out there and booking my own hotel, or at least my parents booking my hotel, and then me just staying there alone with no guidance and very little language abilities, that would be very, very difficult. So I think this program really helped me like get to Japan a lot sooner than I thought I was going to go. So yeah. Okay. And this is, I think, the least, this is the smallest pro, but it's still definitely a pro. I got a lot of language experience. Even though I'm not great at the language, I got a lot of listening comprehension. So I only learned like 3 or 4 new words while I was there, but it was the listening comprehension that got a lot better. So I could actually kind of understand what people were saying. Still not really, but kind of. A lot better than when I first got there. So yeah, that was cool. Okay, now on to the things I didn't like. Okay, there was a lot of unfamiliar food, which it was all really good food. It's just unfamiliar, and this is kind of part of the culture shock. Is it feels weird to be eating a completely new diet, just like jump in. So that was weird at first, and you kind of like, you really want to eat American food. I ate at McDonald's a couple times, but that was a bad idea. Both times I regretted it because it's like it looks really good and it smells really good, but it tastes terrible. So yeah, wasn't worth it. And then every time I ate at McDonald's, it kind of just got me to go back into Japanese food because it was all really good. Jet lag. Because the time zone is so different, the jet lag is terrible because the time difference from New York to Japan is 13 hours. So you're literally, essentially becoming nocturnal. That was redundant, literally and essentially. And that really, really messes up your meal schedules, which I didn't think about that being the hardest part before I went, because what I assumed was going to be difficult is just waking up, but that wasn't actually difficult, because I had melatonin, which resets your sleep schedule, and yeah, so that wasn't actually that difficult. But the food, your brain gets really, really hungry at random times, or not random times. At the right times, it should be getting hungry, but then when you're actually supposed to be eating, you're not hungry at all, and you'll feel sick because you're hungry but you haven't eaten. So that was really difficult for the first week. That really affected me. So that was difficult. Definitely one of the cons. I had culture shock, and now I know I mentioned this quite a bit in my first couple of videos, but I didn't really describe what was happening in my brain. And I think that's the thing about culture shock, is you can't really describe it. It's just because cultures are different, and they're just so different. Because I could describe on the surface basic differences, but it's the little differences that get you. Just the things you can't really put your finger on, but really they really affect you. So I just had culture shock for the first couple of days. It wasn't that bad, but it was a little bit disorienting, and you feel like you're in a little shell of your mind, and you're just kind of watching, not really experiencing. But yeah. Okay, and then the language classes, because we did take Japanese language classes, were kind of mediocre. They didn't teach too much, especially if you've been learning for a year like I have been. Speaking of which, in 3 days is my year anniversary for studying Japanese. So yeah, that's cool. But besides the point, they weren't that good. They didn't teach kana, which I already knew kana, but to the other students who didn't, they just kind of had to fend for themselves and figure out how to learn kana, which those are the two of the writing scripts, by the way, if you don't know what those are. And it wasn't that fun. It was pretty boring. So yeah, the classes were mediocre. But this program was not meant for the classes. They were only 1.5 hours a day where we were actually taking classes, and the rest of the day we were doing other stuff. So it was fine. It was easy to deal with. It was just kind of annoying, I guess. But yeah. And then the last and worst thing of the cons was leaving. Leaving was so difficult. I just didn't want to. And for me saying that, you can probably assume that I really, really liked it. I loved going. It is one of the funnest things I've ever done. It was so awesome. I think my favorite thing was probably being able to interact with real Japanese people and not just reading articles online about it, and actually experiencing the culture. Those were definitely my favorite parts. I can't imagine how it would have been if I had host family, because on this one we just lived in dormitories, but I knew a couple other foreign exchange students who were there at the same time who had host families, and I can't imagine how difficult that would have been to leave. But yeah, it was so awesome. I love it. I want to go back as soon as possible. I love Japan. It's the best. So yeah, that's what I liked about and didn't like about going to Japan. By far, it was leaning towards the amazing thing. Oh, and I also forgot to mention that school festival was amazing. It was so cool, especially just going back and editing it. It was so awesome. That was one of the coolest things I've ever done, and I think that was the highlight of my trip, was those 2 days of school festival. They were so cool. But yeah. Okay, so yesterday, or 2 days ago for when this video is being uploaded, was my birthday. So I am actually 16 now. So yeah, I don't feel any different, as you never do when you turn a year older. But yeah, I'm 16 now, so I'm kind of closer to what I actually look like, maybe. I don't know. I just had a voice crack. The irony. Okay. But yeah, so expect vlogs. I will probably vlog while we're here in France. Not nearly as much as I did in Japan. Like, not every day kind of thing. Maybe just once a month or stuff like that. I have plenty of videos that I want to make while I'm here. So I won't miss any weeks, I don't think. I mean, the internet is iffy here, so that's difficult. But other than that, it should be pretty easy to upload every week because I have plenty of videos I need to make. But yeah, so as always, the links for AFS are in the description. That's the company that brought me to Japan. If you want to go check out what I did and maybe do the same thing next year, because I believe applications are open for next year for both the 2-week long program, which is the one I did, and the month-long program, which is also the language study program, and the program you get to go live with a host family on. So that one would be really, really enjoyable. So yeah, you can go check those out. Those links are on all of my videos of Japan. I think I would be taking them off after this video. I mean, I won't have them on my new videos anymore, obviously. But yeah, so it was so cool. And I guess thanks for watching this video. So adios, amigos.